Hey, good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. I know I've done this before, but I think it never hurts to see the latest and greatest state of my refrigerator. I know that that's exciting, but I think it'll give you some insight into how I manage this carnivore lifestyle that I'm living. Because managing the food, the shopping, the prep, the storage, the cooking, is what it takes to make this successful. And if nothing else, I have been successful on this, despite being a carb addict of the highest order, having fallen prey to cravings all my life, like most of you, and having the change in my physiology that has overcome those cravings. How I managed to do that and not fall prey to the cravings caused by the addiction. An addiction that we all know and finally recognize as the root cause of the severe problem that we have. An addiction that gives those out there who want to capitalize a target to aim their products and their messaging at. And at the root of succeeding in this is a plan on how to manage the food, the cooking, to make sure that you have on hand what you need at any time, to know what to shop for, to know how to make it convenient and easy, because if it's not convenient and easy, you won't do it. You won't do it. So part of succeeding for me on carnivore has been to make it a no-brainer. And while the bacon cooks, I'm going to grab this camera here and going to take you on a little tour. Going to take you on a little tour of my freezer and my refrigerator so you can see what it looks like at any given point. So let's start with the refrigerator first, which is always a thrill for me because basically there's nothing in it. What I've got in my fridge is I've got some San Pellegrino on the bottom shelf, nothing on the center shelf. On the top shelf, I've got basically my dinner for tonight that I took out of the freezer. I've got nothing in the salad drawers. And up here in the slide and reach pantry, I have bacon and eggs. And that's it. In the door, I've got some filtered water. I've got some San Pellegrino. I've got some lemon juice, which I really only use for cleaning anymore. I've got a tub of bacon grease. I've got a thing of what was left of that egg and panko coating that I didn't use on my last wings, which I might use in a day or two. I've got butter down in the bottom here. I've got my bacon grease catcher. I've got 2 quarts of bacon grease and some butter. And that's it. That's all that's in the refrigerator. Kind of a big waste. Let's check over here. See how the bacon's coming. Not ready to flip yet. So let's go back and check out my freezer. And this is where my food is, in the freezer. So before the thing starts screaming at me that I've left the door open too long, let me just show you what I have here. Up here, I have bacon. I always keep 20 to 30 pounds of bacon in the freezer. And this is all the Wright's extra thick cut, which I really like. Down here on the bottom, I've got ground beef. I've got chicken wings. I've got steaks in the back here that I bring in from my chest freezer outside and keep maybe a half a dozen steaks in there. I have in the back some brisket. I'm sorry, not brisket, but chuck roasts. Got a couple of them. I've got single portions of ribs, vacuum sealed. Single portions of chicken wings, vacuum sealed. In the door, I've got fish and seafood. Over here, I've got single portions of wild-caught salmon. I've got single portions of wild-caught cod, whitefish, that I use and deep fry them in bacon grease with panko coating. I've got a couple of 2-pound bags of shrimp that are already pre-cooked, and all I have to do is thaw them to eat them. And down here I have smoked salmon, which I truly love. I especially like to take it and eat it as an hors d'oeuvre on a pork rind. So that's it. That's what I have. That's pretty much the extent of the variety of the food that I eat. Okay, so time to flip the bacon over. What I do to manage it is every day. Still love that sound. Still think that if you're cooking for one, or you don't have to cook more than 4 or 5 slices of bacon, that doing it in a frying pan is still the best way to do it. I like the way it comes out in a frying pan better than I like, even though it works, doing it in an air fryer or the oven or anything like that. The cleanup is non-existent in the pan because I pour off, not all, but some of the bacon grease into this container that I have here. You can see it's about half full right now. When this gets full, what I'll do is I'll take it out of the fridge, set it in a little hot water in the sink, let it melt, and then I'll pour it into one of these containers that I have, that I buy on Amazon, these quart containers. They're very cheap. And I save it for God knows what, because I eat a lot of bacon. But that's how I manage that. My own little bacon grease factory. You get a little Redmond's real salt here. Excuse me while I beat my eggs. Thank you. And if you notice that I had to use some different music this time, other than my classical music that I really was enjoying, it's because the other day I got a YouTube copyright strike on that music. even though it was public domain, somebody somewhere thought that because it was a recognized classical piece, regardless of who performed it, that they had some kind of a copyright claim on it, and it's just not worth me risking anything like that, jeopardizing my channel on YouTube. So we had to pick some different music for today. I hope you liked it. Now I'm going to pour the bacon grease in here. Going to leave some in the pan. Always wipe the side of the pan so it doesn't burn. Give the cooktop a little cursory wipe off. Put the egg in there. Doesn't take long to cook this breakfast. I do it almost every day, as you've seen. Very simple. Got my bacon grease, which is filtered through this thing. And this bacon grease thing that I use, and like everything else that I use, is available from Amazon. And I have links for it on my website at oldguycarnivore.com on the Stuff I Use page. I do appreciate when you purchase these things through my links. Helps supplement my little income some, and many of you have been using those links, and I want to really thank you for that, because it does help. It does help in this day and age when you're kind of retired like me and everything keeps going up in price. I know you can identify with that. Well, that's about it. I think I've said everything I wanted to say, showed you what I'm doing logistically to manage and easily do this carnivore lifestyle. Convenient for me. I'm going to go finish my eggs here and then have my breakfast. So the rest of you, please take the rest of the day off, and as usual, eat meat.